An athlete's first win on tour is always a memorable moment. Marco Arop of Canada got his first win back in Eugene in 2021.
To be honest, I didn't feel the best going into that race. I hadn't had the perfect preparation, but I was adjusted to the time coming back from Tokyo, so I knew I might have had some advantage there.
In 2021, Arop was entering his third year on the tour, and even if he had posted strong results in his first 2 seasons, he was still winless. As a rookie, he suffered 2 narrow losses coming down the stretch. And in his second year on tour, he once again suffered defeat right at the line. After 4 narrow losses, Arop must have felt like he would never get a win on the circuit. Then he arrived in Eugene for a meeting at the revamped Hayward field, a track where he'd experienced some success.
It was really nice to get back to the Hayward Stadium, Hayward Field, because I raced there in 2018, and that was my first time at Hayward Field, and I finished second at NCAA Championships with almost 2-second personal best. So I had a really good memory from the old stadium, and coming back again for the Prefontaine Classic. I loved it. It was amazing just going, I walked in the stadium and I felt like I hadn't even seen half of it.
Soaking up the stadium and armed with confidence from an earlier success in Eugene, Arop let the thoughts of his previous losses fade from his mind.
So going into the race, there was no pressure at all. I was thinking, let the race come to you, and wherever I end up in the first 200 meters, that's where I was going to stay.
Well, Eric Sawinski has been asked to go out pretty aggressively. 49.50 through the...
I was focusing on not going crazy the first 200 meters. I found myself in the back of the pack, which was interesting because I've done that before, but not at this level. Just staying patient throughout most of the race and gradually picking up my speed with 300 to go.
Dustin the Briton in second place. They're running a very mature race, Chris, but 300 to go.
I had the momentum going into the final stretch, and at that point I felt like no one was able to beat me.
And here comes Arop as well onto the shoulder. Dustin, lights out, looking as though he's straining a little bit. Little bit of a clip there. Elliot Giles having to be careful. Now Korea with that rocking and rolling style. But Arop, the Canadian, is well clear here. This is a turn-up for the books. The Canadians in pursuit. Rotich and Korea for the line on the dip. No doubt at all about the winner.
It was a long time in the making, but Marco Arop had finally notched his first tour victory.
It was really nice to finally come out with a win. It was sort of, I don't want to say surprise, but a bit of relief. Always expecting or having so many races where someone will come up and catch me at the last second. It was just like a relief that didn't happen again. And then also having fans in the stadium was very special. Just being able to come out and see everyone after that was incredible.
Even with the win, Arop felt there was room for improvement. It's all a part of him gaining experience and becoming a more tactical runner.
It wasn't a perfect race with falling out to the back of the pack. I didn't mean to do that. I just sort of let everyone else go. And then even coming around, I found myself all the way out in lane 3 and running extra distance. So I think it's a good sign if I'm able to still run as well as I did. I think if I'm able to clean it up and maybe stay more in the inside or have a better position in the first 200, I think the times will show and the wins will keep coming.
Arop would go on to win his next race in Lausanne just 5 days later, and now has 3 tour victories to his name. After finishing runner-up in the final last year, the Canadian is ready to take the next step and claim this year's title at season's end.
I think just figuring out like my own body and understanding how I'm feeling going into races, going into practices, and being able to adjust. So not always going 110% if my body's not capable of it, because in that sense we've been able to avoid a lot of injuries. And I think just staying injury free is the biggest challenge sometimes. And if I'm able to have a relatively healthy season, then I think we're capable of doing greater things on and off the track.